what's up, y'all? So I wanted to put this video together so you guys can understand the difference between if I want to flip a property and I want to hold a property. So a lot of times people make the mistake of buying a property and doing it as a flip when it should have been a hold, or doing a property as a hold when it really could have been a flip. So you want to make sure you identify a couple things outside of just what the price is, because there's a lot of other things that play a strong factor in if this property should be flipped or kept as a rental property, based on other factors, like I said, outside of just the money. So a couple things you want to look at, right? One, you want to look at area. So people always say like, "Oh, this is a great location. It's a great location." But specifically on that block, what is a great location for? Because you may buy a property where the area, the ARV, the after repair value, the pricing for that property, the value for that property is high because this is an area where maybe a lot of new construction going on, a lot of different things where make the value high, but that specific block may not be a good block to be flipped on. Like for example, in Philadelphia, we have an area called Brewerytown where the values are up and they're high, but some back blocks, some in between one-way blocks, some different blocks may not be the best block to flip on. So a lot of investors make the mistake of buying a property and then getting it situated to go ahead and do a flip because of the area, but on that block is not a good place to flip at because you may have a lot of activity on that block. You may have other abandoned properties just on that block. It's a lot of things that can factor that makes that block a rough looking block to where when future home buyers, possible home buyers are coming down, they're like, yo, this area is good, but this block is rough. Look, the house can be beautiful, but I don't want to move on this block for reasons like that. The second thing is you want to factor in, right, is rents. So you may go ahead and say, look, listen, this is a good block. They're going to buy values up or different things or whatever the value of the property may be, but the rents may not be that great on that specific area. So for example, you might, oh, this may be a good property. We're going to buy for this. We're going to put this into it and it's going to be worth this. But the rents may not be able to support what the value, what you refinance and what your monthly mortgage payment is going to be, and then you're breaking even or you're only making $100, $200 on the cash flow on that property, and that may not just work for you. So you got to be mindful. Okay, that this area is great, but what exactly are the rents? If I want to buy and hold, what exactly are the rents going to be so I can know I can actually cash flow and actually make money on this property. The other thing is you want to think about, right, is curb appeal. And what I mean by curb appeal, just not specifically on that block, like I was talking about in the area, how that block looks. Like, how does the curb appeal look in front of that specific property? Because you may go ahead and look at a property that, the value is great, the condition can be good and all different things like that. But then you might be like, oh, this may be a good rental property. But then the front of that may have a historical look or just the front, the exterior, the way the setup or the front of the property, where the landscaping, everything may be so beautiful where it's like, yo, listen, this might be like too much of a rental property. This might be too great of a rental property. This might be good to flip because a home buyer may see this and they might say, oh, this is a beautiful exterior of this property. This is a beautiful curb appeal. Look, I'm willing to pay top dollar to buy this property, and you may be able to get a great number for selling that property based on, like I said, the curb appeal. Just pulling up to the front is just beautiful. So that may be a property like, look, listen, this is a good flip because I know as soon as we list this, it's going to sold just based on how the front of this property looks. So you want to consider things like that. Also, too, you want to factor in taxes. So you have to understand when you're buying a property and you're keeping a property, you have to pay something every single year called taxes. The taxes every single year on that property. And the taxes are based off the assessed value. So that property may be assessed so high where the taxes are so high and the tax are breaking down into monthly payments. So you take whatever that tax amount is and you divide it by 12. So let's say you have a $1,200 a year taxes. That means you're paying $100 a month. So now if you have a tax that may be $12,000, you may be paying $1,000 per month. Now $1,000 mixed in with the principal, the interest, and the insurance, all of that makes up that one monthly payment. Are you going to be renting it enough to cover that whole payment and still make money in regards to your cash flow and for regards to your rental property. So a lot of times people say, oh, this is a good rental property, you know, the area, this, that, and that. And they go and buy it, they fix it up, and then realize, oh shoot, I'm not making any money because the taxes are too high. So that may the taxes may not matter to someone if they plan on living in there and raising a family and doing different things like that. So the taxes may not matter to them, but you as an investor renting the property out, the taxes make a big, big difference on if you're going to be cash flowing. Also, you want to factor in insurance. So some areas have a higher insurance than others, especially areas that may be in a flood zone. So when it's in a flood zone, you have to get extra insurance, which that extra insurance can be very, very, very expensive. So now you're getting all these extra insurance policies, you got the taxes. So now this is so high to where, let's say you were renting this property out, you were planning on rent this property out, or the most you can rent this property out is for $1,500 a month. But based off the taxes, insurance, the principal and interest, everything adds up to $1,375 a month. And now you're like, oh shoot, I can't. Excuse me. Oh shoot, I can't make enough money on this property. I'm only gonna make $125 after everything is said and done. It's like, yo, look, this doesn't really make the most sense for me. So you have to keep in mind of different things like that. Like I said, the taxes, the insurance, the curb appeal, the rents in the area. There are a couple other things that you want to factor in as well, but these are 5 good things that you justify. Okay, is this a good property to rent out, or is this a good property to flip? Like I said, curb appeal and area. These two are going to matter a lot when it comes to flipping. Outside of just the money, outside of just the numbers, outside of just if the property can be fixed up or not. You know, that's the first thing people look at. Oh, I can fix this property up. It's going to be worth this, boom, boom, boom. But is the area good to flip? Does it have curb appeal? Different things like that. And a lot of people say, oh, I can go ahead and rent this property out for a lot and make all this money. But then what are the taxes and what is going to be the insurance over there? Because is it going to be able to cash flow? So I'm going to make more videos like this showing you guys how to be able to distinguish. Okay, I got 123 Main Street, this deal in front of me. What is my exit strategy? Do I want to flip this or do I want to rent this? And remember, you make money when you buy. So when you're buying, you need to make sure you're making a good decision. So when you finish, that way you actually can make money, you actually profit.